USA Today is the place for a comprehensive look at motorsports. Get all the latest results, standings, and features to keep you up to date with your favorite teams and drivers.
One lap away from a restart here at Rockingham. And let me catch my breath because we got to explain this one to you here and try and set up the restart. Jeremy Mayfield, Bill Elliott, Ryan Newman, Ward Burton, and Jimmy Johnson have led the most laps today. We're under the 7th caution. Only cars out of the race. Mark Martin, who just had the engine problem that brought out this caution. Kevin LePage and Derek Coe. Now, there are only 7 cars on the lead lap, and then another 6 cars on the tail end of the lead lap. Leader Bill Elliott is going to restart 7th in the outside lane of cars.
He's back here, and all these cars in front of him want to stay in front.
They're on the tail end of the lead lap. Matt Kenseth had to go to the end of all this. He's about 38th in line on this restart, even though he's 7th place in the race. And just understanding how the guys got tail end of the lead lap, they did not pit under the caution. When the leaders did pit, the pace car stayed out. They pulled up behind the pace car. The guys came off pit road behind him.
And Junior got in turn 1 and slid up the racetrack. Did Elliott get by him? No, might have.
No, he didn't. No. A couple other guys got by, but Elliott's boxed in there behind Ricky Rudd and next to Jimmy Spencer there in the 7 car. Really doesn't have any place to go until they start singling out.
Remember, Bill Elliott in the 9 is the race leader. He's behind all this mess. Cars on the tail end of the lead lap in front of Elliott are Sterling Marlin, Greg Biffle, Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Whoa.
And Jimmy Johnson just went by all these guys on the inside to take the lead. He goes by Junior. He's put him a lap down. He's got the 21 a lap down. Man, 48's going somewhere, Matt.
He is on the move. Chad Canales told me 2 races ago they're bringing their best stuff here into Homestead. They want to solidify that second of the points, but they want wins. They want to carry this momentum into 2004.
Man. All those guys jammed up on the outside. He took that inside line, and away that 48 car went.
And that's a good place to be right now because you know, Elliott and those guys are going to be stuck back there in traffic. They need to clear these guys as quick as they can.
See Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 11th place. He's the first car 1 lap down, trying to get around Jimmy Johnson. Here's the race for 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Ryan Newman in the 12 trying to get around Mayfield and Elliott.
Yep, looking up there to the top. Nope, not this time.
You know, dodging back out onto the track, BP, you talked about it before for Matt Kenseth. It was a great stroke of luck and a good move. Even though he's back in the traffic in the middle of all the soup, he is one of only 10 cars on the lead lap by not having made the green flag pit stop before the caution came out. Bill?
Alan, it was exciting at the front of the field and a mess at the rear of the field, and there are a couple of reasons why Matt Kenseth had to go to the tail end. When he went back there, guys in front of him that he was supposed to be behind stopped as a courtesy, trying to get him to go past them for a better restart position. He talked to Robbie Reiser. Robbie said stop again, so Matt stopped again, and again the guys, as a courtesy, tried to let Matt go in front of him. So he had to start way behind the field to make sure that he was in the proper position and not penalized again.
And it's a courtesy, and like I said earlier, they don't want to be around the guy that's clinched the championship today.
2nd place. Bill Elliott, Ryan Newman, Jeremy Mayfield, and Ricky Rudd in that 21. Doesn't want to let these guys get by him.
Yeah, they feel like that maybe he's the leader. I think they've forgotten that the 48 car is on out there about 2 seconds in front of this battle.
Right now, 3rd in line as far as the Lucky Dog Pass is concerned. Ooh, 3 wide.
Oh, this is going to be exciting.
Especially, yeah, okay. Single out here.
Elliott just can't figure out which line he needs to be in and which car is going to be the best, the 21 or 31.
Robbie Gordon, 31 car, is 2 laps down in 24th place. Ricky Rudd in the 21 is 1 lap down in 13th. See if Newman tries to stuff it underneath Rudd there. Whoa. He thought about it.
Yeah. You're not clear.
All right, finally, Robbie Gordon gets a 31 car, gives the 9 some breathing room.
Great, tell you what, great drive for that 12 team. After getting in the spin at lap 84, back to 25th, up to 3rd. Solid day.
And Bill Elliott, the 9 car, as you've said many times, started at the rear of the field today because of having an engine problem on Friday.
So they sorted out around the lap traffic now, but leader Jimmie Johnson still in the soup. He's not at the head of the field. He's behind several cars on the tail end of the lead lap, and even a couple one lap down. 129 laps to go here in Rockingham.
Under green at the North Carolina Speedway, where Jimmie Johnson continues to lead. Final 4 race here at the Rock. It's been a good one so far. Looking forward to a big finish. Could be somebody in victory lane. Could be a new Winston Cup champion when the checkered flag falls. Matt Kenseth on the track needs to finish 7th or better to lock it up. A lot of his fans from Cambridge, Wisconsin are watching at a sports bar, the sports page back there. But his father has been traveling him for the last few weeks. His father rode in his motor coach to Phoenix and then rode all the way back. And there he is, watching on top of the motor coach in the infield. He likes to be in the best possible place he can see the race without bothering anybody else or anybody bothering him. So Roy Kenseth is here watching his son on the track while his fans and family members watch back home on television in Cambridge, Wisconsin. Matt Kenseth in the 17 car going for his first Winston Cup championship and trying to bring the first Winston Cup to Jack Roush. Could be a big afternoon for those guys, huh?
Yeah. That's what my dad used to do when he went to the races and I was driving. Just stand in one place and make circles.
Story of the sport, really, for so many people, stories of fathers and sons. Matt Kenseth got his start, his involvement in racing, working on and watching his dad, working on his dad's race cars on the short tracks in Wisconsin. Who'd have thought it might turn out like this?
No way of knowing.
120 laps away from possibly locking up the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship today. Kenseth ahead of the curve as far as that 186-point lead he needs to have at the end of the day to lock up the title for 2003. His rivals, Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in 11th place, 1 lap down. Jimmie Johnson is leading the race. And Kenseth, again, getting a good break when he managed to hang that right back out onto the racetrack when a caution came out for Mark Martin's lost engine.
Now that was a huge break. Very good move on Matt Kenseth's part.
There's going to be a big party up there tonight.
Yes. Check that out.
Cambridge, Wisconsin, 1101.
1100 and Matt, huh?
Yep. And Matt Kenseth running in 5th place right now. He's passed Ken Schrader since the restart. Next in line for Matt to catch for position will be Jeremy Mayfield. And he's got about 4 seconds before he'll catch up to the 19 car as far as ground to make up.
Cars are going down the backstretch, the sun at their back. Wonder what it's going to look like when he goes down the front stretch and drives into the sun. Remember at Phoenix last week, it was pretty bad, and it used to be bad here at Rockingham. But well, it's not the greatest. Still not too good. But that grandstand that they built down in turns 1 and 2 helped the situation because I think before the race is over, that corner will be in the shade.
Yeah, it blocks the sun.
Jimmie Johnson is leading the Pop Secret 400 with 115 laps to go. He's got a 2.3-second advantage on Bill Elliott. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. Southern Californian Jimmie Johnson out in front here at Rockingham, North Carolina, in search of what would be his 4th NASCAR Winston Cup Series win of 2003. He's 109, now 108 laps away from the checkered flag. Pretty good sized gap back to 2nd place, 1.7 seconds.
It was 3 something though.
That's right.
10 or 15 laps ago.
Don't look in the mirror, Jimmy. You might see red. Bill Elliott, red.
3 Dodges lined up behind him.
Elliott, Ryan Newman, and Jeremy Mayfield, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Matt Kenseth, Ken Schrader, Tony Raines, and Sterling Marlin Marlin, the only other cars on the lead lap. After caution came out in the middle of a set of green flag pit stops and put many one lap down. Hate it when that happens.
I hate it when that happens too.
Is that Ward Burton?
Unless, of course, you're one of the guys that on the lead lap.
18th place, Ward Burton, who spent 30 laps out in front of this race earlier with a little trouble there off turn 2. Kind of had to regroup. Dave?
And of course, he just got unlucky enough to be caught out on that last caution. His car was getting loose. They came in, they made an adjustment to it with air pressure, but it's not the car it was before. However, that last adjustment they made was pretty good, so he said, next time, give me more of the same.
Okay. Well, they may only get one more time. Leaders all pitted with 148 laps to go, or I should say the guys that stopped under caution. Well, they would be leaders.
Yeah.
Stop with 148 laps to go, so if you split that, that's 74 and 74, depending on if the yellow waves. So they may only have just the one more stop in this race. Matt Kenseth running 5th, 9 seconds behind leader Jimmy Johnson, Bill.
And running toward that championship, Allen, at about 5.5 minutes ago, car runner Jack Roush made his first appearance of the day in the 17 pit. I've been trying to keep an eye on him. He's been in the 16 pit for most of the day, but he walked in here, said hello to some of the crew guys, walked up on top of the box, said one word to Robbie Reiser. Robbie smiled and laughed, said something back to Jack. Then Jack just simply patted Robbie on the back, then took a seat on top of the wagon. He's watching that 17 car, taking him perhaps to his first Winston Cup championship after being so close so many times, especially twice with Mark Martin.
Yeah, referring to 1990 and 2002, Mark Martin was penalized after the first race of the year at Richmond in 1990 for a spacer, a manifold spacer violation. NASCAR penalized him 46 points among his fine. He wound up losing the championship to Dale Earnhardt that year by 26 points.
And I always felt like that they won that championship because it was not a performance enhancing thing that he did. If they had welded that piece on, it would have been legal.
Right.
They did not weld it on, but there was no difference in the performance of a welded piece or an unwelded piece.
Yeah.
And if you were with us on Discover Card Countdown to Green, you heard Jack Roush say that he has not forgotten.
Yeah.
And felt like that perhaps at that time his relationship with NASCAR brass was not as good as it might have been to help him with the severity of that penalty.
Well, he wasn't in the in-group. I mean, and he had come over, and he was one of the first guys that was really an engineer in the sport. And I mean, Jack Roush is a very hands-on type of a guy, an owner. I mean, he's very, very involved with all the parts and pieces of this race team.
And he's very candid.
And I think that, you know, probably he felt that, well, he's going to get it because he hadn't paid his dues yet.
And he says whatever he thinks, and sometimes that saying the right thing doesn't meet well with some people.
The other time that Bill is referring to, the two occasions, last year, 2002, Mark Martin's team was penalized 25 points after this race at Rockingham. Wound up losing the title by 38 to Tony Stewart, so the penalty not an overall factor in that one.
Well, he's paid his dues now, that's for sure.
And there'll be a lot of people very happy for Jack Roush if he should win this NASCAR Winston Cup Championship as the team owner today for the first time. 99 laps away from the checkered flag at the Rock. Kenseth runs 5th behind leader Jimmy Johnson.